Let's take a look at the most recent issue of Reason magazine with Reason editor-in-chief Matt Welch. Great cover art, which we'll get to in just a little bit, but it's all about the apocalypse, the fiscal cliff. What do we learn with this comprehensive coverage?
Come January 1st or 2nd, as the case may be, we're going to be jacking up taxes. We're going to come up with some kind of short-term deal that does nothing to cut spending, that will do very, very little, in the best case scenario, to actually do anything about the deficit. Probably won't touch entitlements, and will keep in place the same kind of system of kicking the can down the road, having crisis to crisis short-term kind of management that has gotten us into this trouble to begin with. We haven't had a budget since 2009. I mean, it's a basic kind of oversight that you would expect Congress to do. They're supposed to initiate spending. Instead, they initiate deadlines. It's a debt ceiling today, so we have to come up with some kind of cobbled together last minute thing. The types of legislation that they're passing has a lot of, well, we're going to fix the rules later. Someone else is going to write the rules later. If there is a negotiated settlement on this stuff, it's going to be, we'll cut government 10 years down the road in entitlements. It's a promise, it's not an actual plan.
And speaking of entitlement spending cuts, it's almost impossible to cut military spending, and that's the other end of the budget. Veronique de Rugy wrote very cogently about it.
It's impossible to cut defense spending right now. Republicans particularly are freaked out about the sequestration cuts that might slow the growth in defense spending. Mitt Romney was freaking out about it. Everyone's freaking out about it.
We're going to have the smallest Navy since the Village People. But let me ask you this, because libertarians are normally very excited about privatization. Why is privatizing and subcontracting so bad for the military?
It's not necessarily bad for the military. Maybe we'd be spending a lot more than we would be otherwise. But the problem is you've created an entire class of people who are trying to goose even more government spending and who can portray every single proposed imagined reduction in the future as cutting defense to the bone and jeopardizing us, to the jihadis.
And let's talk about the government spying on you. Ron Bailey writes about that.
The government has been asking, the federal government's been asking cell phone providers, hey, give us the records, the geolocation data of all of your users or whatever users that we ask. So in 2011, 1.5 million requests the government made of individuals. Local police departments are saying, okay, do this, it's great, we don't even need warrants anymore, but let's do this and make sure not to make a big deal out of it, because if the public knew, they might freak out about it. So this thing has gone from 0 to 100 in about a year and a half.
Yeah, they literally have talking points that say, don't tell the media how close we can get and how much we can gather from cell phone data.
So it's our job as the media to tell everybody else.
Tell me about the cover art. This is fantastic. It reminds me of a tattoo I should get.
This is the great LA artist Coop, who's done a bunch of punk rock posters and album covers, Nirvana, Soundgarden, Reverend Horton Heat, and that kind of stuff. And we just said, hey, give us a Skeletor Death Man. He's a guy you might know from like Devil Guys and Devil Babes everywhere. He has a very identifiable style, and I'm very tickled to have him on the cover.
Oh, well done, Matt Welch, editor-in-chief of Reason magazine. Go pick it up on newsstands now. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
And thank you for Reason TV. I'm Kennedy.